Blondie, Sunshine, Daisy, Ravani. What am I?
Beg your pardon?
You don't call anyone by name except for me. Where's my nickname?
That's not true. There's Hawk and Bianca.
Hawk is a family name, and Bianca is a crossbow. Don't change the subject.
Haven't thought of a good one yet. What do you think of Red?
Too common.
Well, when you think of one, let me know.
She thought she could deal with the demon and not fall prey to it.
Right. It is demons who should be feared, not mages. You were an idiot to leave Hawk.
And you were fast enough to replace me.
I love her. You can't even imagine what that is.
Do not bare your heart to me, mage. Unless you would see me rip it out.
If you've got something to say, just spit it out.
Are you sure you want to encourage me? I might be about to confess my undying love.
I get that a lot. So what's on your mind?
I just realized it's been a while since any of the gangs in the Undercity came to my door.
They're busy people. Places to go, throats to cut. Maybe you've slipped their minds.
Right. The apostate running the free clinic in the sewers. Easy to forget. You didn't have anything to do with this?
You must have me confused with someone else. I'm just a businessman and a storyteller.
Now that I'm living here, there isn't room for you in the bed. Do you understand? That won't work on me. I'm a cat person. Cheer up, old boy. Maybe you can bunk with Sandal.
Enchantment!
The Canary must like it here, to stay so long.
From what I've seen, the Canary don't like anything.
That can't be true. They must like some things. Sunshine, butterflies, rainbows.
If I spot a canary admiring butterflies, Meryl, you'll be the first person I tell.
We're not looking for virgin's blood or the tongue of a hanged man or anything, are we?
Well, you know Tevinters. They can't throw a Winter's End party without a human sacrifice or two.
Are you happy?
Beg your pardon?
Because she seems happy. Hawk, I mean. You are, aren't you?
Yes, I suppose I am.
Good. You've spent much too much time being grumpy. It's a nice change.
Thank you, Hawk. I would never have thought to call a mage my friend. Yet here you are. Wherever the future leads, I hope it is at your side.
I saw you at the Chantry last week, Fenris, but I haven't seen you back since.
I was only delivering something. You needn't concern yourself.
But you were praying? Or was that part of the delivery?
I was trying to blend in.
Oh yes, you wouldn't want to ruin your reputation.
Don't you have a city to reconquer?
It is time for me to move on. Unless you'd care to get to know each other better, champion. I warn you, I grew up among whores. My fingers are quite nimble.
I like nimble fingers.
Excellent. A small diversion before I head home to wage my war against the guild. Or perhaps I should say, a large diversion. No need to undersell it, huh?
How can you have so much faith? Does nothing bother you?
You're bothering me.
The Maker left us to our own devices generations ago. He's never going to step back in, start listening to our prayers again. He's gone. Doesn't that bother you?
He's a merciful lord. He could have destroyed our world when we failed him, but instead, he gave us a chance at redemption. Should we not be joyful?
A dragon attacked your mine. Everyone is dead.
Dear Maker, what of my equipment? Did it seem salvageable?
No. And neither did the workers who died trying to save it.
Not all mages are weak.
True. Hawk, for instance, is not weak.
You specifically don't mention me.
That's also true.
I'll prove to you that I'm not weak.
Prove it to yourself. You're convincing no one else.
So I shouldn't slit my wrists and dance naked under the moonlight just to fit in?
I would pay to see that.
You've made no secret of your intent to lead the mages here in Revolution.
Well, I've tried not to shout it from the rooftops. You've just been around when I talk with my friends.
Well, as we have mutual friends who for some reason don't want you to get hurt, let me tell you this. If you go forward with this revolt, the Chantry will bring its full might to bear. They will kill you.
Andraste was killed. That doesn't mean she failed.
Do not compare yourself to Andraste.
Mages and Templars, working together. I must be dreaming. You're giving me that look again. What are you writing this time?
So, you and Hawk, I need some details. Did you go down on one knee? Did she jump you? Did you swear eternal vows of love, or is this just a physical thing?
I don't see how that's any of your business.
Fine, but if you don't tell me, I'm just going to have to make it up.
Then we will be fugitives together.
We will fight for a world where our children can be born mages and free. 10 years, 100 years from now, someone like me will love someone like you. And there will be no Templars to tear them apart. May the Maker bring us victory, or everything else is meaningless.
I've always wondered, how do your divines choose their names?
They write all the best sacred names on slips of paper and stuff them in a mitre. Then, the newly elected divine picks a name out of the hat.
What if she picks a name she doesn't like? Does she have to keep it?
Of course she does. How do you think we got 4 divines named Hortensia?
Maybe giving it back would solve Aveline's problem.
It couldn't hurt.
Says you. I know it will save my skin.
Why can't this be as easy as you?
There is justice in the world.
Is there? You want to free the mages. Let's say you do, but to get there, you kill a bunch of innocent people. What about them? Don't they then deserve justice?
Yes.
And then what? Where does it end? It's like a bar brawl. People are continuously pulled into the fray, and nobody remembers why it started. Justice is an idea. It makes sense in a world of ideas, but not in our world.
The Kunari have what we came for. We will go.
You, living with Hawk now?
What's it to you?
Be good to her. Break her heart, and I will kill you.
Abominations are always so awkward at family reunions.
Have I ever mentioned that I like your coat?
You do?
It's very lively, like a crow in the middle of hunting.
That's great. Thanks, Meryl.
Don't worry. Helping people and killing people are what I'm best at.
I hope there will be no call to kill anyone, Sarah.
Draste's flaming knickers!
I bet all he wants is to go chasing after thrown sticks. And someone to rub his belly. Varric, how does one get made a paragon?
The Assembly votes on it. Enough votes, and bam! You're a living god.
You should ask to be made a paragon of manliness.
Oh, I like the way you think, Raveni. But one doesn't just ask to be made a paragon.
Why not? Everyone can see you're a paragon of manliness. It's just a matter of making it official.
You waste your breath. He'll never tolerate my kind.
It is a shame. We're nice people.
I can't believe you're still not taking sides.
I told you, I only like to be on top.
I mean against the Templars. You like freedom, right? You hate slavery. Why wouldn't you side with the mages?
Maybe I just don't like you.
Meryl, so you've returned. How has your time been among the Shemlin?
It's been nothing but roses and rainbows, Master Island. The alienage is lovely in the spring. The collapsing shacks and drunken brutes are nicely offset by the knee-deep mud. You seem especially broody today.
Does it bother you? Should I stop?
No, don't stop. But could you add some smouldering to the routine, just for me?
Smolder?
Oh, and while you're at it, perhaps some cold insolence.
You want me to smolder and be cold at the same time? Those don't go together.
Shush. Don't distract me with your logic.
Someone starts raising undead, and it's all downhill from there.
You really believe, don't you?
What are we talking about?
Believing. You do, I can tell. In freedom, in mages, in good spirits, in bad Templars. With more fire than the sun.
And your point is?
I miss it sometimes. Things being certain.
Some things are certain.
Not anymore.
You think he brought those skeletons to life to serve me tea?
You need to seek atonement.
I know I should have died there, not Marathari. Don't you think I feel guilty enough?
Guilt isn't a punishment. It's a reminder there are things you haven't set right. The only way to shed its burden is to repent with a sincere heart and rectify your failings.
But how? The Keeper is dead. My clan lost everything because of me. There's not enough I can do in this lifetime to make up for that.
It was your pride that led you to the demon. Admitting what you can't do is a good first step.
Where'd you get these?
A wizard did it.
Do you feel like a citizen, Fenris?
Excuse me?
You've been in Kirkwall as long as I have. Does it feel like home?
I have no comparison, really. It feels like a free place.
Maybe that's enough.
We shall see.
Why is everyone looking at me?
You could get another cat, you know. There's one in the Lowtown market with a litter of kittens ready to wean.
You don't pay attention to Templars, Qunari, or politics, but you notice kittens.
Templars, Qunari, and politics don't meow and attack your feet when you're buying food.
Are there any tabbies? I'd like a tabby.
Odd. When we watched you being a drunken ass, you ignored us completely.
If your city was stolen, why didn't you just call the guards?
I'm afraid the matter can't be handled by guards, Meryl.
Aveline could help you. She's very good at making thieves give things back. I think it's because she's so tall.
This is beyond even Aveline's power, I'm sorry to say.
Are you sure? Have you seen her hit people?
So far, all I see is you.
Leaving the other person behind is the first step in running away. Sorry if that's inconvenient.
So what do you believe, Meryl?
Our gods abandoned us long ago. They haven't answered our prayers since the fall of Arlathan. When we've proven that we're elves again, that we didn't lose everything, they'll come back to us.
We say the same of the Maker. Perhaps they're only different names for the same divine force that created the world.
The Maker wants you to be elves?
A simple thank you would have sufficed.
Thank you.
Bianca is a very pretty name.
I'll tell her you said so, Daisy.
She can't actually hear you, can she?
Of course she can. What kind of question is that?
Wait, are we talking about your crossbow or something else now?
People take their frustrations out on me all the time.
You are generous.
About your brother, Varric. Have you any other family?
I have family like a rat has fleas, Daisy.
Does that mean you have a lot of family? Or that they make you itch a lot?
Both.
Might want to take it easy on that bottle.
It's the last one, I swear. To you, Hawk. A finer mage I have never met.
So I hear you've been visiting the Viscount's gardens, Daisy.
Oh, they're enormous. And they're always empty. Why don't more people go to see them?
Probably because they're private and surrounded by guards.
I thought all those men looked a bit cross.
So you're what? Hoping I can yell really loudly in his ear? Maybe give him a good shake.
Why a mirror?
I don't understand the question.
If your people were going to make a magical whatever for talking to each other, why choose a mirror? Do elves spend a lot of time talking to their own reflections?
I suppose the ancient elves would have felt silly talking to a wardrobe or an urn.
If I held a grudge against everyone who attacked me in a dream, I'd have no friends.
How do you do that? Make everything better with a smile. It's like magic that doesn't get you in trouble.
You know, Junior, it's eerie how much resemblance there is between you two.
She's my sister. Of course there's a resemblance.
Oh, you thought I meant Hawk. I was talking about Gamlin.
Maker, I hate you, dwarf.
Nathaniel? Well, put me in a dress and call me a Templar. How is the old boy doing?
Did you approve my application?
I can't make you a guard, Carver.
We were both soldiers. Why won't they take me?
I was an officer, and I follow orders.
No, you don't.
I also think of others before myself. You seem tired of that, and that's dangerous.
Just when it's not my choice. You told them not to take me, didn't you?
Yes.
I'll check it out. You keep interrogating that horse.
I'm surprised you still travel with this, Aveline.
Carver, don't.
You're ever so busy with the guardsmen. It must be a burden to slum with the refugees.
It's oddly comforting that you insult me like I'm family.
That wasn't... No, I didn't mean that.
I know, but you should be glad that's how I took it.
Mage this, Templar that. Is there anywhere in Kirkwall people don't talk about this?
No, and I've looked, believe me. Even the rats in Darktown are following this mess.
You know, Fenris, I have a tattoo.
You have a what?
A tattoo. A lot of us got them before Ostagar. It's a Mabari, for strength.
Does it curse you with the ability to reach into a man and tear out his insides?
I can make it bark.
Please don't.
Yes, refrain.
Since you're turning to me, should I assume the Templars all suddenly disappeared?
Your people came a long way, Meryl. But I'd like to think we have Ferelden in common.
I never saw Lothering. Did you walk as much as we did? Probably more. You didn't start with Hala. Our ship stunk.
Your ship?
There was something foul in the hold. Oh, I can still smell it.
Oh, well, that must have been unpleasant.
It was. Did I miss another dirty thing?
No.
Someday I'd like to go 1 week without meeting an insane mage. Just 1 week.
Do you miss it? Ferelden, I mean.
Sometimes.
Blackberries. They don't seem to grow here. And there were little songbirds with black caps on their heads.
I sort of missed the dogs barking.
Yes. It's mostly been humans barking at me here. Not nearly as cute.
Funny. In my house, we always felt running away from violent mad women was a good thing.
How did you learn swording?
Swording?
Those things you do with the sword. It looks tricky. Was it hard to learn?
Takes a lot of practice.
Well, you seem good at it. I bet one day you'll be the best sworder in Kirkwall.
Meryl...
I said something wrong again, didn't I? Maybe I'll just stop talking.
Oh, buggery. I know what this is about. I'm not a blood mage, all right? I started that rumor because I thought it would make me sound dangerous and suave.
It would take more than blood magic for that.
Nice day to be planning a trip into the deep roads, don't you think? The blight, the dampness, the festering darkness filled with tainted rats.
Shut up.
You've got a real chip on your shoulder, you know.
I've got a big blade on my shoulder, Magey.
Right. Wonder what you're compensating for.
Corridors lined with explosives and darkspawn galore. It's not even my birthday.
Do you really like sailing? Like it? I love it. The salt spray on my face, the wind whipping by my ears, the gulls screaming overhead. I love it all. Oh, don't you get sick? I was so sick on our trip across the sea. Were you in the hold? Everyone was in the hold. There's your problem. You need to be up on deck, under the sky, with nothing between you and the horizon. Sailing is like sex. Do it wrong, and it'll make you sick. But do it right, and there's no feeling in the world like it.
You have friends.
Yes, a mage is my only friend.
Hey now, you could do worse.
Do you have a parrot, Isabella?
What would I want a parrot for?
What about a peg leg? Do you have one of those?
You can see that I don't, dear.
Eye patch?
I'm disappointing you terribly, aren't I? And no hook for a hand either.
Seems that Varric's pirate stories are awfully inaccurate.
He knows, kitten. He likes them better that way.
Usually people don't say things like that unless they're about to stab someone in the back.
So, when you first did blood magic, it was just an accident, right? You cut yourself and realized the power. You didn't actually deal with the demon.
Oh no, I did.
Why would you do that?
I needed his help. He was really very nice about it.
Of course he was. He's using you to get a foothold in a mortal brain.
He's a spirit. He offered me his aid. I hardly think you're one to criticize.
You don't just kill a man and take his ship. That's crude and amateurish.
I heard Varric saying you were a Grey Warden.
I was.
I met a warden once. Back in Ferelden. Duncan, I think his name was. Very odd man. He had a marvelous beard, though. I'd never seen one before. I thought a squirrel had grabbed him by the chin.
Why can't you surprise me in a normal way? With flowers, maybe, or a cake?
You must really like the Hawke family.
Why do you say that?
You came all the way from Lothering with them, didn't you? And they're not even your clan.
Humans don't have clans, Meryl.
Exactly. You came so far together, and you didn't even have a keeper to make you get along.
So your keeper tells you to stop kicking each other, or she'll turn the Aravel around?
Sometimes she also warns us to stop pulling hair.
You there. Did my love send you? Will you take me to him?
Either your father didn't give me the whole story, or I really, really hope you're talking about someone else.
I would like to know more about being a guard, Aveline.
I don't think that's the job for you.
I know, but it might help me not get caught.
You probably shouldn't have said that part.
Why?
Just... never mind.
Uncle Gamlin, was that affection?
I'm feeling sentimental.
Did Lothering have any lineage?
It wasn't a big enough village to have a wall around it, let alone a place for elves.
Where did the elves live, then?
Stables and outbuildings, mostly.
I think I like alienages better.
I would have put our wealth into something profitable, like Orlesian wigs or nugskin coats.
So, how good is Donick? Is he cocksure?
Just get it out of your system.
Did he curl your toes? Dwarf your beard? Float your frigate? Shank your jewelry? Grey your warden? How about satisfy a demand of your Kyun?
Yes, all right. He's an incredibly proficient lover. Happy?
Well, that's rather personal, don't you think?
To inconvenience an upstanding citizen such as yourself. My, where are my manners?
So, Donick was in the Rose.
He was not.
Easy, big girl. He wasn't shopping for himself. You're lucky to have a man who wants to please you. But maybe you could indulge him more. Are there areas of intimacy you haven't explored?
Why? Why do you give me these doubts?
Aveline, if you shove your thumb up his arse, I win.
Just... no.
Oh, Maker.
I'm surprised you know what a note is, let alone know how to read one.
You've had many lovers, haven't you?
Fewer than some think.
But you never stay with them.
No, why should I?
But the act of lovemaking is so... intimate.
I don't make love. What I do is only skin deep, kitten. Don't worry your pretty little head about it.
This person is like an underpaid brothel wench. He enjoys leading us on.
Do you think you'll leave Kirkwall someday?
Of course I will. As soon as I get myself a ship, I'm sailing wherever the sea takes me.
I'll miss you. You'll write to me, won't you? Do pirates write letters?
Badly. Hook hands make for awful penmanship, kitten.
Mekkel is dead. That bitch killed him.
What's a Mekkel?
Rumors about Starkhaven, you know. They say you eat the dead up there, and murder strangers in the street.
Why do I suspect that when you say you've heard rumors, you mean you've invented some?
6 of one, half-dozen of another.
Next time you want to talk to someone, maybe try knocking on their door first.
Oh yes, that sounds brilliant. Just show up on his doorstep and say, "Hi, I'm your daughter." I doubt that would go over well.
You know, Quiet Boy, I wouldn't normally say this, but the shiny white armor, it works for you.
That's uncharacteristically kind of you, Varric.
Makes you look like a lacquered pilot whale.
Ah, now that was much more in character.
It's a pity. The Crows could really benefit from having you in their pocket. Alas, orders are orders. No loose ends.
I would say I told you so, but that would be so expected, no?
You're incredibly talented, Meryl. I can see you were meant for great things.
Thank you.
But you're stupid.
I'm sorry, what?
Don't you think it would be better to work on where you are now, instead of recreating old glory?
No, that's kind of the opposite of what I've been saying. I'm the stupid one. Whatever.
And we all remain in one piece? Well, it is a good day then. I hope we learned a lesson, yes? You cannot trust a crow, unless he is ridiculously handsome.
What was Lemarin like? I've never heard of a Dalish who's been there.
I don't imagine your people travel between islands much.
Not really, no.
I wouldn't start waterproofing your wagons then. I don't think Lemarin is ready for the Dalish.
What do you mean? Would we upset the people there?
It's not the kind of place where one turns down a tumble. Even refuse a fortune teller and they'd run your lot out of town.
You finally mastered the obvious. I'll take your word on the second part.
You'll get the chance. I was mute and now I want to sing.
Please don't.
It's been years, and not once have you tried to get me to repent or turn to the Maker.
Preaching seldom works, Isabella. To change a person's heart, one has to lead by example.
Huh. That makes sense. I can respect that.
I grew weary of the strings of nameless lovers and the nights full of mindless pleasure. You will too.
That's the cruelest thing anyone's ever said to me. I think I'm going to cry. Is this really where the elves live?
Yes, this is it.
If you think this is bad, you should see where I live.
That was very brave, coming back to face the Qunari.
It was idiotic. They would have killed me.
And you returned anyway. You couldn't face the thought of so many innocents dying for something you could prevent.
Tell that to the Viscount.
It's frightening, isn't it? To realize you have the potential to be a better person.
You mean steal? Like common thieves?
Because we never take anything that isn't ours? So, I've never understood why the Chantry says if you're good, you'll be taken up to the Maker's side.
Those who die with the sins cleansed from their souls will walk beside the Maker in eternity.
That doesn't sound fun. If they really want people to be good, shouldn't they offer an afterlife with lakes of wine and a dozen naked virgins?
Anyone who wants that will be going to the Void.
Sounds like that's where all the good parties will be.
Does your bow have a name? Varric's bow has a name.
I'm afraid I can't compete with our dear dwarf's relationship to his weapon.
You could call it Philomela.
Why would I do that?
Because it reminds me of a woman in the alienage. Skinny, pointed, and always throwing things at people. How do you suppose the Qunari scratch their heads with those horns in the way?
Why do you think I would know?
Because you know lots of things. I wonder if they rub their heads against tree trunks like Hala do.
I'd pay a sovereign to see that.
No wonder they seem so cranky all the time.
I had trouble with another of your women, Isabella. She stole from a distracted client. You're lucky she wasn't jailed.
My women? I am but a shepherd. And what free enterprise are you oppressing now?
Theft is not enterprise.
Opportunities insufficiently guarded, victimless crimes.
Except for all the victims.
Details. Victimless details.
You've been glowering for days. Your face is gonna get stuck that way.
My face is the least of my concerns right now.
That's because you don't have to look at it. If you could see it from this angle, Blondie, it'd be at least a close second on your priority list.
Have I ever mentioned that I like your coat?
You do?
It's very lively, like a crow in the middle of hunting.
That's great. Thanks, Meryl.
I tried to warn you, Blondie.
You're not helping.
You've been watching me all day. It's getting a little distracting.
Meryl's right. Your armor is shiny. I can see myself in it. Look. Shit. Oh, shit. Is that a wrinkle? Is that a wrinkle between my brows?
I don't see...
Hold still.